And I think growing up in Chawton, I never, ever thought I would write a book. And you may think, well, surely with Jane in the family, we'd all be authors. But actually, it was something that, when I was a kid, it was sort of, with Jane in the family, we've got our writer, if you know what I mean. And I always thought if I wrote, we're only going to be compared to Jane. And that's a comparison we're all going to lose every time. It didn't make me kind of think I've got to be a writer. Jane taught me, that I've got to, keep to my own style and go on in my own way and be what I'm supposed to be. But I didn't think it would be a writer. Anyway, if we whiz forward 25 years after we left, and in that 25 years, I had never told anybody that I came from Chawton, that I was related to Jane Austen. It was something in my adult years, the loss of Chawton really, it hurt me. And I was 18 when that happened. And I just didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to remember it. But then in 2013 was the 200-year anniversary of the publishing of Pride and Prejudice. And it had been 25 years since we left. And that anniversary was just a moment in time where Jane Austen was just, celebrated through the mainstream media as much as the sort of specialist, Jane Austen interest areas. And it just started a chain of events that just got me thinking. First of all, it's been 25 years and I am still so upset about it. Obviously not now, but back in 2013, that I can't even talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got to sort that out. This is ridiculous. I've got to. Chawton House is now, it's a building that more and more people are visiting, that it's become world famous. I need to deal with my own emotions around this. But also I began to realise that from a social history point of view, Jane Austen and her family's story is documented over the centuries. The last significant documentation of that was in 1913, when Montague Knight, one of my ancestors, wrote Chawton Manor and its own as a family history. But there's nothing from the 20th century. And we're the last of the Austens to know Chawton House. I grew up with it when it was still our family home. It wasn't a public building. Yes, we actually had visitors come in all summer because Granny ran a tea room from the Great Hall. So I was talking to Jane Austen fans all summer and people coming in. But other than that, it was a private home. We used to host a lot of events as well, but you know what I mean? But the majority of the house was a private home, and we were still following traditions that the family had done for a long time, still hearing the family stories, still looking at some of the same books in the family library that Jane would have known. And I sat at the same dining room table as her and ate from the same Wedgwood dinner service. And I mean, as I said, this was a continuation of life from Jane's time in Chawton. And I just value Montague's book so highly. It's such a gift that he and William Austen Leigh took the time to put that together. I just thought, for all of those reasons, I've got a first-hand account here that if I don't share it is going to be lost forever. When I actually came to write the book, it was something that I had no intention of being vulnerable in it. All I wanted to do was, I knew people were visiting Chawton, and I just wanted to paint a picture of Chawton House as a family home, as if we're sitting down having a cup of coffee and I'm just telling you about it. But when I started writing, it's like my fingers just took over. And certainly because in the middle of the book, my grandfather dies and we had to leave Chawton House and give it up as a family home, for the Knight family after hundreds of years.
Thank you for joining the Hidden Heroines of History podcast for Season 1. This month we continue a year of literacy and kick off our summer reading. Whether you're a writer or a reader, Season 1 rocked the Casbah with authors and historians who brought you some of their favorite inspirational hidden heroines in history. Join the conversation on Spotify, YouTube, Apple, or iHeartRadio.